Okay, so I'm in another room. Okay, so I gone through your post, which is in the message. Okay, so you're telling about definitely we are going to talk about the conversion process after completing of this regular course. So there will be some workshop thing which I'm going to be conducting. In that workshop thing, I'm going to discuss about all these things about the conversion project, how to start, what our role, and what is our when the finance peoples are going to when our financial people are going to be in the project, what is the role and what are the responsibilities till the end of the migration project is completed. That I'm going to take care of all these things. There will be 2 to 3 sessions will be there on the workshop.
Yeah, actually, I have an interview on Tuesday. So
Okay,
they
okay,
are
okay,
more
okay,
interested on the on-premise conversion project.
okay,
It's uh, it's actually for Department of Defense in the
okay.
US.
Uh-huh.
So they want me to be knowledgeable of what all things that the finance guys do. So that's why I was telling just one project for data migration, one project for conversion. If you
Mhm.
can just show what are the things that usually a financial consultant does, then I can just actually read up on it and say, yes, I'm
Okay,
knowledgeable.
can we do one thing, sir? Can we do one thing? Okay, so if people are interested, okay, so I'll send a separate link for the tomorrow session. Definitely. So that today we'll do one thing. Today we'll continue with our regular class. Tomorrow, because anyhow tomorrow we don't have any regular classes. So tomorrow okay, with our request, okay, so I'll create a one more link to all of you if required. Okay. So those people who are interested to know about the in-depth in the process related to the conversion, you can join in the class. It is not compulsory to all of them. If your people are interested, okay, because of Venkat is requesting, so that I'm just giving Venkat and other 2 people are requesting, so that I'm just creating the link for tomorrow at the same time. Same time. If you're interested, other people can also join and you can listen over the class.
Sure.
That'd be great.
Thank you.
So that tomorrow, because it is an unofficial for us, so that we can discuss something about the conversion project over there.
Perfect. I
Yeah.
would be interested in joining. This is Prem here, so I'll be there.
No, link will be created for all of you. Link will be created for all of you. But it is not compulsory that, okay, so that trainer Mahesh is taking a class tomorrow so that we need to join. No, it is not official training. It is only for based on the request from our side. That is only the request, okay? So it is not a compulsory.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Rahul.
Okay, if anybody is interested, you people can join and we can have the discussion. We can have the open discussion. You can ask the doubts. I can clarify the doubts. So it will go well so that we both are going to be on the same page. So let me see how it will go tomorrow. Okay. So
You will
tomorrow
have the recorded session as well available if suppose someone is not able to attend.
I'll ask the Xenantech team to record the session. Definitely, sir.
Please, thank you.
And where we can find the link?
Same, sir. Same. So how you're joining today? Same post, same day. Okay, in the same page, in the session meeting links. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, Mahesh, maybe I'm not able to join, but if we have the recording session, it will be good.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. I'll make sure that the recording is available to all of you.
Perfect. Thanks.
Mahesh, at what time?
Same time, sir. Same time.
It's a 1 hour or like more than 1
Only
hour?
1 hour. Only 1 hour. Only 1 hour.
Okay.
Same time with the same link. Okay, so you can see the link in the same meeting link in the same web page, in the same blog. So you can join and you can listen the class so that I can explain you very beautifully about the conversion project.
Okay.
Also data migration.
Yes,
Also
sir.
migration.
That is what conversion and data migration. See, what is the conversion? Conversion is nothing but you are doing the system conversion from ECC to SAP S/4HANA. Data migration is nothing but you are moving the data from the old database table to the new database table. That is called as a data migration. I'll explain completely in the class tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sharing my desktop to all of you. So we have discussed about the master data in the last class. The master data of the GL accounting consists of a chart of accounts, account groups, and the retained earnings account. Make sure that you are not going to miss this question when you are writing a certification, please. Okay, this is going to be the important question in the certification. I'm telling. The master data of GL accounting is very important, and they will ask you a lot of questions related to the chart of accounts, account groups, and everything. So we have discussed very beautifully about each and every point. So just go through the recordings whenever you get a free time, or something like I'll provide some material regarding this financial accounting after this end of the class. So you just follow the you just follow that material so that you will be in a comfort state so that you can answer any questions related to this master data. Now, what happens after you create the master data? Now you understand the business requirement. Yes, client has given beautifully explanation about the business requirement. So you are designed, you're completely designed. And one more thing, my dear friend, I'm telling, now in SAP S/4HANA, we don't have the phase called as the blueprint phase. We have a fit gap analysis. Earlier, I'll just let me open that. Very, very important actually. So anyhow, I'll discuss this in the workshop after the completing of the syllabus. So earlier we have these phases like project preparation, and we have the next phase called as a business blueprint in ECC. When you are using the so when you are using when we are using the SAP ECC system, so we are using the ASAP methodology. Okay, we use in the previous, I'm talking about in the previous process, we are using the ASAP methodology. In the ASAP methodology, we have the phase called as the business blueprint. In this business blueprint, we are going to finalize the business requirement and we are going to freeze the requirement. And finally, we are preparing a blueprint. Okay, this is your general ledger process. This is your accounting process. This is all the, okay, we are going to prepare everything. And then what we'll do, we will freeze the blueprint so that after freezing the blueprint, we'll start doing the realization phase. But now in SAP S/4HANA, the successor of ASAP methodology, we are going to be calling it as Activate methodology. Activate methodology. So in this Activate methodology, we have a prepare phase. And we have called explore. We have called as the explore phase, EXPLORE, explore phase. So in this explore phase, we don't have any kind of blueprint actually. So system design blueprint will be designed, but we are not going to call it as a blueprint. We are going to be calling it as the explore phase, where we will do the fit gap analysis. Fit gap analysis, very, very important. We have the fit gap analysis between the a business process and the SAP standard. Okay, so we don't have the blueprint here in SAP Activate methodology. Very, very important actually. So we'll discuss all these things. So after you confirm, after you get the requirement from the business, what is the nature of the GL accounts, how many GL accounts they are going to be using, okay, what are the day-to-day transactions, whether they want any group GL account, they want any country-specific chart of accounts. So what you're going to do, you're going to design the process. You're going to be designing the process completely over there. So once you design the process, once you completely design the process, now finally you need to test whether the master data which I have configured, is as per the business requirement or not. So for that, what we are going to do, yes, we have done the master data. After the master data, what will come? After the master data, we will come with the master records. Once you complete the master records, then my transactional data will come. So to check whether the master data is correct as per the requirement or not. Transactional data, posting of the transactions. Okay. So this is the what sequence we are going to be following. This is the sequence we are following here. So one is going to be called as the master data. The second one is called as the master records. And the third one is going to be called as a transactional data. Yes, we understood what is the master data. We have completed the master data. The master data of the GL accounting. Not only the GL accounting, we have the master data for payables. We have the master data for the customers. We have the master data for the materials. We have the master data for the controlling. We have the master data for asset accounting. So every component will have the master data. Now, in this current scenario, we discussed about the master data of GL accounting. The master data of GL accounting contains about the chart of accounts, account groups, and retained earnings account. Okay, this is the master data now. Yes, we have successfully completed the master data. Now, what is the next part? The next part is nothing but we need to go and prepare the master records. The master data is completely different between the master records. Very, very important. Once again, I'm telling, don't confuse between the master data and the master records. Now we have to prepare the master records. So why we have to prepare the master records? For example, tomorrow I would like to post one transaction here. For example, I would like to post one transaction in the transactional data. Like for example, okay, my meals expense or my travel expenses account will become the debit, and what exactly will be the credit? My cash or bank account will become the credit. So cash or bank expenses, cash or bank balance sheet account will become the credit. So this is what exactly my day-to-day transaction. So to post this day-to-day transaction, I need the master records. What master records you need? I need the master record for the travel expenses. I need the master record for the cash or bank account. Until or unless if I don't have these two accounts, I cannot do the transactional data. I cannot post the transactional data. Means your master data is ready, but where are your master records? This master records, we'll call it as a GL master records in our GL. So I'm talking here, okay? So GL. So it is coming as a GL master records. Any doubts here, please, anybody? Now we are discussing about the master records of the GLs.
Rahul, we have how many phases we have in active method?
In activate methodology, we have totally about, we have 5 phases, but normally we'll take into consideration about 4 phases. Explore, prepare, explore, realize, and go live. Finally, it is going to be called as a go live phase. Only 4 phases we are going to be working.
Okay.
Is it nothing but agile methodology?
It's agile methodology. Actually, there are 2 methodologies are there in the Activate. One is called as the agile methodology. Second one is called as the waterfall methodology. Okay, so this process is called as the agile methodology. You are absolutely right. Now there is no waterfall methodology because it is a flop methodology. We are not using any waterfall methodology right now. So SAP has completely recommended to go with agile process, not with waterfall.
So is there any tool we are using for this phases within SAP? Or?
Yes, sir. There are a lot of tools we have. I'll explain that. But when we come to the Activate methodology phase, okay, so definitely I'll discuss about, there will be 1 or 2 classes will be there in this Activate methodology. In that we'll discuss all those things, sir.
Thanks, Rahul.
Okay, we have something about the PPT slide. So I'm going to open the direct link with SAP with Activate methodology so that we can discuss over there. Definitely, I can show each and every phase. What are all the tools are available? Okay, what are the in each and every phase? What are the activities we need to perform? What is the outcome of the each and every phase? I'll discuss everything in each and every phase in detail. Now let me discuss about the master record. Now, master records. What is the master record now? Okay, master record is the core information about the accounts. Very, very important. See the definition which I'm giving them. But master record is the core information about the accounts for posting the transactions, for posting the day-to-day transactions in SAP is called as a master records. Once again, I'm repeating. A master record is the core information about the accounts. I'm not telling whether it is a GL account or customer account or vendor account or asset account. I'm just grouping everything. A master record is the core information about the account for posting the day-to-day transactions in SAP is called as a master records. Every people will have a master record. If you go, if you want to inquire about me, if you come to my company TCS and if you ask me, I want to meet Mr. Rahul Mahesh. Okay, so then they will ask you, okay, Rahul Mahesh, what is his employee ID? What is his employee ID? Employee ID is something like blah, 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 like XXX is the employee ID. Then if you tell the employee ID, then they will recognize, oh, he is the Rahul Mahesh. Okay, he want to come. So that particular employee ID is nothing but my master record. That particular employee record is nothing but my master record here. In the same way, how do I know what is the account number for the travel expenses? How do I know what is the account number for the cash or bank account? Yes, now we call it as a GL master record. So the GL master record contains about we can create the GL master record at 3 different levels. One is chart of account area level, company code level, and third but not the least, we call it as centrally. Many people know it is going to be called as a centrally. Centrally is the combination of both. Centrally is the combination of both chart of accounts and the company code. So we have 3. So when I create,
Mahesh,
yeah, please.
transactional data I can delete anytime. If once I create a master record, by chance it is mistakenly I made a mistake. Can I delete master record?
No, master records cannot be deleted. So master records can be kept as a deleter flag, but you can block the record, but you cannot delete completely from the SAP.
Oh,
See, for example, I'll tell you one example. You have created one master record. Like for example, you have created a travel expenses, and you are from January 1st, you have started doing the posting of the travel expenses, and all those travel expenses are recorded in your SAP GL. So today, let us assume that today is the month of March. In the month of March, you realize that, okay, you don't want the travel expenses, so you want to delete it. But if you're deleting, but what happened to the transactions which you already posted in SAP from January to till the month of March?
right.
No.
And how about if I move the previous old historical data to the new master record, then can I delete it?
You can do that. That you can do that, but you don't delete it. You don't have an option to delete. Only you can block the GL master record, not to post any further transactions.
If you don't have any transaction, we can delete, right?
Yes, if you don't have any kind of transaction, you can mark for delete and you can delete it. But if there is transactions, SAP will not allow you to delete, first of all.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. I heard there is a tool called SLO. Using the SLO tools, SAP Landscape Optimizer tool. Can we delete the master record using that tool?
But yes, sir. But why should we delete? That is what exactly my requirement.
No. I'm just here. Totally. Sometimes what happens when we go for mergers and acquisitions, after merger and acquisition happens, sometimes we may need to some of the master records.
Correct, sir. But you should be explained to your auditors once you deleted it. If there is no master record, if the transactions are already been posted, then if there are any audits are going to be happening in a company, then you should explain them why you are deleted and what happened to the transactions.
Yeah, usually in a practical way, how we do it from the audit point of view. If I have two systems, system A and system B, I will move from I will merge system B into system A. I will log the system B forever. So that is my audit purpose. Whatever I have done until that period, it will be there for audit purpose. Once all my transactional data moved into system A, if there is any master records copied, or if there is any cloning,
you can archive all the data so that you just don't want to see those GL accounts. You can archive the data, and there is a transaction is there where we can delete completely from the SAP so that the particular GL accounts cannot be visible as a live in production system.
Got it. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
That you can do, but you have to do after you complete your year-end closing activities.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you.
Now let me come to the chart of accounts. Okay, what is a GL account? Why should we create a GL account at the chart of account area level? Okay, first we'll discuss about the chart of account, then we'll go for the company code, and then we'll go for the centrally here. Normally in our company, we'll do with centrally only. Every company will do the centrally. Okay, now a chart of account area GL accounts. A chart of account area. A chart of account area of a GL account contains the basic information about the GL account. See the very, very important point. The chart of account area of a GL account contains the basic information about the GL account for the preparation of P&L account and balance sheet. So whatever the information you are providing, for example, now I am preparing a travel expenses GL account. A travel expenses is nothing but I know it is a P&L account. I understand it's a very good. It comes under the P&L account. Some accounts will come under the balance sheet. So it is up to the knowledge of your FI consultants, because already you are graduated in the BCom or something like MCom, or you have done the MBA finance or whatever maybe. So you know which are all the GL accounts comes under the P&L account, which are the GL accounts comes under the balance sheet. So that is the knowledge we have to be required over here also. Why? Because SAP is a domain of. SAP is a completely domain of. It will accept whatever you give the parameters at the time of creating of a GL account. So it is very cautious to everybody. So we need to understand what comes under the P&L account, what comes under the balance sheet here. So the accounting information, the GL account information you are providing while you create a GL account at the chart of account area level, it contains the basic information about the GL account, which helps you to prepare the P&L account and balance sheet. So at the year-end closing activity, I need to extract my P&L account and balance sheet. I need to prepare a financial statement. I need to prepare my financial statement. I need to prepare my P&L account. I need to prepare my balance sheet before I close my year-end closing activity. I need to see my trial balances. So you have to make sure that the GL account you have created in a proper way, that it is a balance sheet account or it is a P&L account. And what is the description of the GL account? Yes, I understand about the P&L account and balance sheet. Then what is the description of the GL account? Whether the GL account is the travel expenses. If it is the travel expenses, what type of travel expenses? Is it domestic travel expenses, or it is a foreign travel expenses, or what type of travel expenses? It is the intra travel expenses or inter travel expenses. What type of travel expenses? So you need to explain. You need to give a clear understanding about the text about the GL account. This information is very, very helpful for doing the preparation of P&L account and balance sheet. So the core information of the GL account remains in the chart of account area, which helps in preparation of P&L account and balance sheet. So the chart of account area contains about 3 tabs. One is type and description. Type and description. Second one is keyword and translation. Keyword and translation. Translation, not transaction. Keyword and translation. Last one, it contains about the information about the chart of account area. What chart of account area you are using, everything, that information. So the chart of account area information contains about the 3 different tabs. One is the type and description. Second one is the keyword and translation. And third one is going to be called as chart of account area information. This information
Are
is
you typing it somewhere? I'm not able to see if you have put
my
it
God.
down there.
Sir, it is all of you for the same thing. You are not able to see my screen.
No, we can see.
it until that you written that master records, chart of accounts, company code level, and centrally. After that, we didn't see anything you typed. Did you type anything?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
sorry,
typing a lot.
maybe it is only for
I'm
me.
typing a lot.
No, we can see everything.
All right, okay, and then forget
Yeah,
about
we
it.
can see. We can see.
Okay,
Now I
so-
just typed about keyword, type and description, keyword and translation information.
Oh, maybe it's a latency at my side. Sorry for the disturbance.
Okay. Just do one thing, sir. Can you stop the sharing and can you come out once again? Try like that. Okay, so these 3 informations are available. So if I go into the SAP, now we need to come to the SAP Easy Access, because all the master data created in SPRO in the IMG, this is the master data. You're creating all the customizing in the IMG. This we do in the customizing of IMG. Once you complete the customization, once you complete the implementation, once you complete the complete configuration to test the data, we need to come to the SAP Easy Access. Now in SAP, we are providing the Fury. I'll explain the Fury also. Earlier, we don't have the Fury, so directly we are doing from SAP Easy Access. Now in SAP, we have both SAP Easy Access. At the same time, we have the Fury also. I will also show how to create the GL master record in Fury. So first, let me make you to understand how to create the GL accounts. Okay, so accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, master records, GL accounts, individual processing. See here, these are the 3 things which I've been telling you. One is the chart of accounts, second one is the company code, third one is the centrally, these are the transaction code. If you want to have the information at the chart of account area level, you can create information to the company code. Centrally is nothing but centrally here. Now, I have 4 company codes with me. As I'm telling you, I have 3 company codes with me. Okay, 1810 and 1910. These are the 3 company codes which I own with my company. Okay, now all these 3 company codes, using the same chart of accounts. All these 3 company codes, I'm using the same chart of account, that is YCOA. Okay, all the 3 company codes have been assigned with the same chart of accounts, sir. Now, Yes, I'm using the same chart of accounts. Okay, now there are some GL accounts, there are some specific GL accounts, okay, which I don't require for the company code 1810 or 1910. There are some specific GL accounts which are required only for 1710 company code. There are some GL accounts which is required for all the company codes. Yes, if you take a travel expenses, this travel expenses is not required for 1810 and 1910. This is only required for the 1710. This is only required for the 1710, not required for the 1810 and 1910. But but even though if it is not required for 1810 or 1910, but the information you should be provided in the chart of account area is mandatory. The information you provide in the chart of account area is mandatory. Until or unless if it doesn't provide the information in the chart of account area, I cannot extend the GL account to this company code. So directly I can do what I will do. I can create centrally. I can go to centrally. I can go to centrally because centrally is the combination of both chart of account area and the company code level. So it contains both the information. I can go to centrally. I can create the GL account for the 1710 company code, which is not for 1810, which is not for 1910. So when you have the list of all the GL accounts, it is not a compulsory that all the three company codes should have the same list of GL accounts. Some company codes may require, some company codes may not be required. So first what we will do, we will upload all the GL accounts at the chart of account area level. We'll create all the GL accounts at the chart of account area level, and then based on the requirement, I will extend this company code, and company code to all the three company codes. Very, very important here. Okay, so let me see now. One more point. One more point. Okay, now one more point. Okay, already my company is in GoLive. Okay, so already we have been in, I've been there in SAP from many years. Okay, so okay. Now, if you see here, this is the company. I have three company codes. So from last few years, I'm using the SAP. So this is my chart of account. These are my company codes. For example, now you have acquired a new company or something like, okay, or something like you want to go for a rollout project for within the company. You have one more company, which is which is in the Switzerland. I want to go for a rollout. Okay, so this is US based. This is German based, and this is about your Italy, something like. Now you have another company in France. Let us assume that. Okay. Now in France you have a company. Now till yesterday we don't have SAP for this company. We don't have the SAP. They are doing manually, or they are using something like Oracle or something like that, using any other ERP packages. Now what I have to do, I want to go for the rollout for this company also. Yes, now I want to bring this system. Now I want to bring this process into the SAP, just like for US, Germany, and Italy. Just I want to bring this France also into the same thing. So what I will call it is called as a rollout project. It is called as a rollout. So in this rollout project, what I will do, okay, already I have all the GL accounts at the chart of account area level. But all these three company codes are belongs to the same company. No doubt in that. This I'm using as a 1610. This I'm using as a 1610. This I will use as a 1610. All these four company. One second.
I think you need to drink water. Hot water.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'm taking the hot water. It is beside me only, so just I need to recover. Okay, now I want to bring this company also. Till yesterday, I don't have the SAP for this. Now I am going for the rollout. So in the rollout project, what I will do, whatever the GL accounts you have at the chart of account area level, already you have about 500 GL accounts are available here. 500 GL accounts are already been available here. So the same GL accounts can be extended to the 1610 company code also now. So what I will do further, I will not create any GL accounts for this France company code. what I will do, just already you have the 500 GL accounts. Out of these 500 GL accounts, I'll do some assignment. I'll understand that what are all the GL accounts which has to be extended to this company code, because already these 500 GL accounts you have at the chart of account area level. Out of these, only I required about 300 GL accounts. Okay, so what I will do, only these 300 GL accounts I will extend to this company code. I will extend to this company code. So no need to go for centrally. So I will extend to this company code. Okay, 300 GL accounts I'm extending out of 500 GL accounts. So what you will do, I'll come to the second one. I'll come to the second one here. FSSO. I'll come to the company code. I'll come to the company code. And here what I will do, I want to, this payroll expenses, I want to extend to another company code. Which company code? I want to extend to the 1610 company code. So I'll give the 1610 company code, and already you have created the GL account at the chart of account area level. I'll give the same GL account and I will extend to this company code and make sure the GL account is available for this company code here. So in this case, what I will do, I will use the extending the company code to extending the GL accounting to this particular company code. So what is happening now, all the company codes are in sync and all the company codes are using the same chart of account now from today onwards. So that is the reason SAP is providing you, so you can create the GL account at the chart of account area level, company code level, and the centrally. And chart of account area level you do only once in a complete. In chart of account area level, you do only once. Okay, but extending to the company code depends upon whether you are acquiring a new company, whether you want to go for a new rollout for a new company code, then you can extend the same GL account to whichever the company code you want to be created. Then centrally is nothing but, hey Rahul, you are telling that all the 300 GL account I extended for this company code, but there are some few GL accounts, 2 to 3 GL accounts which are required, which is not available in the list of 500 GL accounts, which are required for the 1610 company code. Can you do one thing? Can you create the GL account at the chart of account area level so that I can extend to my company code? Why should I do that? There is option is called as a centrally. Centrally, you can directly go to the centrally and you can create. It contains both COA information and it contains both company code information also. So no need to first you create the chart of account area, then you extend to the company code. No, go for centrally. Because you know for which company code, what chart of account, you have to create the GL account. You know the complete detail. So you go for centrally. It contains both COA and company code information, and you can create the GL account. So it will be created both at chart of account area level, and it is all by default it will be get extending to your company code. Then I'll use the centrally over here. Clear now, all of you? What is the difference between the chart of account area, company code, and the centrally? Any doubts here in the explanation?
No.
Just a quick question, Mahesh.
Yeah.
If I know all my GL accounts, say 500 GL accounts, if I'm going for a greenfield implementation, 1710, 1810, 1910, or my company codes, is it possible through an Excel sheet to upload all the GL accounts into the system?
Sir. Definitely. What you will do, I'll give 2 tables to you, SKA1, and there is one more table called as SKB1 table. I'll give the 2 tables. Okay, so I'll use some LSNW. So you need to map everything in that Excel sheet. I'll give one Excel sheet. I'll give some BADI to you. So I'll give some what are the input fields should be incorporated. So you are using Oracle, are using Tally, or you are using any other financial packages. So extract those GL accounts and map in this particular fields. After you map, I will use some LSMW. Legacy System Migration Workbench, it is called as Legacy System Migration Workbench. I'll use this LSNW and I will upload all the GL accounts into my SAP. Clear?
Yeah. So
now,
in the tool, we'll map all the company codes?
We'll map for all the company, whichever the company codes you require for all the company codes, I'll do it for you.
Oh, okay, got it.
Now in SAP S4HANA, LSNW still it is available, but apart from that, we called as a migration cockpit. We have called as a migration cockpit. So this is a new tool given from the SAP for the migrating of all the master data into the SAP now. LSNW is available, sir, no doubt. Okay, you can use LSNW, or SAP is providing its own tool. Is the predefined tool which is called as the migration cockpit in SAP S4HANA. Either you can use SAP HANA migration cockpit, or you can use LSNW.
So Mahesh,
Okay.
do we need to have this knowledge for the finance point of view?
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. I'll make sure that I'll explain one LSNW to all of you. If we after we complete the syllabus, I'll show one example.
Yeah, Mahesh, this is Priya. Can you please explain what is migration cockpit mean? Is it same as LSMW?
Is a tool given from the SAP S4HANA point of view, that instead of using the LSNW, we have a latest tool which we can use it for the migrating of your data from the legacy system to the SAP system. That is called as the
That part I got, but is it same as LSMW, or what is the difference between this and
No, there's a
LSMW?
lot of differences there. LSNW, we are following all the 16 to 24 steps are there, but here there will be no stepwise. So there will be a program which we are going to be executed in the background. So that program will take care of all those things.
Okay.
I'll show the demo. Okay. Now, this is exactly the information about the chart of account area, company code, and this is about the information about the centrally here. Now let me create a one GL account. Now let me see one account here. Now see here. I'm coming to the chart of account area. FSPO is the transaction code. FSPO P0 we call it as. Okay. Now I want to create one account. Yes, I'm taking one account. See, I'm taking one account number from the chart of account, which is called as the YCOA, which comes under my expenses account. I'm creating a new travel expenses under the expenses account series. Okay. Now, how do I know this is the expenses series account? If I go to OBD4 transaction, that is the last class yesterday we discussed, that is about the account groups. We call it as the account groups, OBD4. So if I go to the OBD4, if I go to YCOA chart of accounts, see, these all are YCOA chart of accounts. So I'm creating one income statement account under this particular group, income statement account, which is called as the expenses account. Okay. Now let me go and do that. Okay. /OFSPO. Okay. Now I'm giving the GL account. Now this is called as a display. This is called as a create. So change. This is called as a create. And this is with reference. This, whenever you want to block the GL account, you can block the GL account. Whenever you want to put the GL account as a deleted for the flag, which cannot be used further, so you can put it under the delete for the mark for the deletion. So let me go one by one. Now I'm creating a new GL account. So what I have to do, I have to click on this. Which is called as a create. As I told you that you have type and description, keyword and translation, and information. So you have three types when you create a GL account at the chart of account area level. The type and description is very, very important here. Earlier in our SAP ECC, directly we have this account group, and there is an option called the P&L account at balance sheet like this. If I'm not wrong, like this. Anybody has worked in the ECC system earlier, sir?
Yes, very.
I work.
Yeah, how it look like? For we have the account group, under which account group, and here they will be providing you two options like this earlier in our SAP ECC. So one option like this, another option or one other radio button like this. So one option is called as a balance sheet P&L account.
Yeah, another option is balance sheet.
Yes. Yeah, this is the balance sheet account. Okay, this is the balance sheet.
And P&L account, there is another option, I believe, P&L statement account type.
P&L statement, that is different. Yes, I understand, sir. Okay, so one is the P&L, another is the balance sheet. Now, we can tell that under which account group it will come. So it is the account group. Okay, we can tell that under which account group you are taking. Okay, we are creating some. So we will take this one. Okay, okay, we'll select this one. If it is a P&L account means we'll select the P&L account. If it is a balance sheet account means we'll select this is a balance sheet account. Now in SAP S/4HANA, we don't have the selection option. What is the balance sheet and what is the P&L account? It is completely changed now. So we have. There is a new field which has been introduced called as a GL account type. GL account type contains about the 4 GL account types. Now in SAP S/4HANA, we have 4 GL account types from today onwards. Wow, okay, these are the 4. One is called as a balance sheet account. Second one is called as a non-operative expenses or income. Third one is called as the primary cost or revenue. And the last one is called as the secondary cost. Once again, balance sheet accounts, non-operative expenses, make a note all of you. This is very, very important whenever you go for any certification, I'm telling. GL account type is the new field which has been added in our SAP S/4HANA from today onwards. Now why? Because you are bringing the universal general accounting entry table. Now you're bringing only one table from today onwards. Okay. So what the SAP has done, it has been simplified your data into 4 account groups from today onwards. 4 GL account types. No need to have further GL account types. For example, hey Mahesh, if I go to my assets, I have the current assets, I have the fixed assets, I have the receivable, all this. How should I know that? Nothing to be worried. If it is a balance sheet, select it as a balance sheet. It is a balance sheet, it's selected a balance sheet. If it is a P&L account, select it as a primary cost element. Like that. I'll tell you now one by one. Now, this account is a completely I have taken from the travel expenses. It's a completely called as a travel expenses. When I call it as a travel expenses, it is completely related to the cost. If it is completely related to the cost, it comes under the P&L account. It not comes under the balance sheet. No, balance sheet accounts will not come as the expenses or the revenues. P&L account contains all these expenses and the revenues. So what I need to do as my SAP as my accounting knowledge, it will not come under the balance sheet. So what I had to do here, there is an option called as a primary cost or the revenue account. So all the P&L accounts, all the cost related accounts, all the cost related accounts means expenses accounts. All the cost related expenses accounts and the revenue accounts will comes under your primary cost or the revenue accounts now from today onwards. Why? Because in controlling, now controlling is a part of your ECDOCA table. So now your primary cost elements are created as a GL accounts from today onwards. Secondary cost and primary cost elements are treated as a GL accounts. So now all your expenses accounts or the revenue accounts should be taken under the GL account type called as a primary cost or the revenue accounts. Very, 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 very important this is. Okay. If it is a balance sheet, Rahul, what I'm doing, and this is a bank account, or this is a receivable account, or this is an outstanding account, I need to take under the balance sheet. Yes, there is a balance sheet option is also available. If you know which comes under the balance sheet, which comes under the cost and revenue account, so this is very, very important here. Now, what is this non-operative expenses? In if you take some companies, like there will be some expenses which I don't want to record in our P&L account and balance sheet. There are some accounts which I want to be used as a non-operative expenses, for example. Now, for example, let us assume that I am a CEO of my company. Okay. I don't want to disturb my working capital. Okay. So year starting, I'll allocate some working capital. So based on the working capital, I run my company. So the working capital investment is about $1 million. Example. This is for the fiscal year 2019. But I have some shares and debentures. I have some shares and debentures which I owned by own. It is not related to my company. I have my shares and debentures. I want to purchase those shares. I want to sell that shares. So that accounting entry has to be recorded in my SAP. So those all which are not comes under my operating related, which not comes under my company's working capital, which I'm not taking that amount from my working capital investment, which is going to be taken by my own. Those things I will take it as a non-operative expenses or the income. Which will not. Yes.
Is depreciation will come under this non-operating expenses?
No, sir, madam. Depreciation will always comes under the primary cost. Depreciation is an expenses for you. Whenever I want to sell a goods to a customer, you have to do the depreciation and you have to sell the goods to the customer. So that how much depreciation you have to record it, no? So how do you know that how much value has been depreciated? So that depreciation will not come under the non-operating expense. It will comes under the primary cost. Only the cost which is not going to be recorded for the operational purpose, very, very important. Only the cost which not going to be taken into consideration during the day-to-day operational purpose, those accounts will come under the non-operative expenses only. Okay, next one, secondary cost. Yes, earlier we have the controlling. Earlier in our SAP ECC, controlling module is completely different and your FI module is completely different. This is your FI module and this is your controlling module. We have different sets of table. We have different sets of table in FI and we have different sets of table in controlling in CO. Okay, now what we are going to do now in SAP S/4HANA, we are bringing one common table for both FI and CO now like this. Now there is no different tables for both FI and controlling. Now all the controlling postings are also going to be recorded in a new table which is going to be called as AC DOCA table. All the controlling tables, okay, all the transactions, all the actuals will go and come and store in the DOCA table. Earlier, what happens here? There is something called as the integration between the FI and controlling. Controlling is completely related to the cost accounting. We will control the cost. If we want to know what is the actual cost which has been incurred, what is the planned cost, what is the target cost. If we want to know the cost about each and every product you are manufacturing, the controlling will give the complete information about your cost of the product here. How to control the cost, what is the cost involved during a manufacturing of a product, what is the planning of the cost, what is my total target cost. So if you want to know everything, that will be known from the controlling part. So controlling is completely related to the cost accounting, completely related to the cost accounting. Now, if I'm manufacturing a product now, okay, now I'm manufacturing a product. So I'm manufacturing a product. During a manufacturing of a product, lot of costs are going to be involved. Lot of costs are going to be involved. Like expenses accounts are going to be involved, some revenue accounts. So a lot of cost accounts are going to be involved. For example, now here, I'm paying some rent expenses. I'm paying some rent expenses for my godown buildings or for my plant buildings. I have 3 to 4 plants are in the same location. I need to pay the rent. I need to pay the rent for these expenses. So what I will do, I'll post one GL account. Rent expenses account is going to be the debit and my cash or bank account will become the credit. This cash or bank account is not a GL. This is not a cost account. It is a balance sheet account. So when I'm posting a rent expenses about about 10,000 USD dollars. If I'm posting a rent expenses about 10,000 USD dollars for all the buildings. Okay, now this expenses accounting entry I'm posting in FI. This expenses accounting entry, what I will do, I'll post in FI. But when I see this is an expenses related account, so I would like to see this account in the controlling. I would like to see why, because controlling is completely related to the cost accounting. So how do I flow the data of this 10,000 USD dollars from FI to CO? So what I will do here, this is a GL account in FI. You call the rent expenses as a GL account in FI. But when you go to the controlling, the same rent expenses, I will call it as a primary cost element. Primary cost element. All the P&L accounts, all the expenses accounts, revenue and expenses accounts in controlling, we call them as the primary cost elements. Very, very important. Where the same we call in FI as a GL accounts, we call them as the primary cost elements in the controlling. So when I'm posting this account, when I'm posting this transaction, I would like to see the same primary cost account is getting reflected. Means I would like to see the rent expenses account, 10,000. Yes, sir. Yes, madam.
How is rent as primary cost? Rent is secondary cost, right?
No, rent is the primary cost. Rent expenses is the primary cost. Secondary cost is nothing but secondary cost will not be done any kind of postings, madam. Secondary costs are only involved for the internal adjustments of the cost center from one cost center to another for assessments or for distribution, for internal activity allocations, for internal settlements. We are using the secondary cost elements. Rent is not a primary, rent is not a secondary, rent is always a primary cost element. Rent, travel expenses, meals expenses, cost involved, that is cost of goods manufactured, your direct labor cost, indirect labor cost, overheads, these all are going to be called as the primary cost.
Direct labor cost is primary. See, direct labor is primary cost. Indirect labor is not primary cost. It's secondary. I don't know. I mean, I don't know which is SAP, but rent. I have. This is the. I don't know whether it's in costing wise. Rent is not primary cost. Costing is secondary cost. Rent. Only your labor, material, and direct overhead is primary cost.
No. Whatever whichever the expenses you are getting posted in various other modules, whatever the expenses you are going to be recorded, these all are going to be called as the primary cost elements in the controlling, madam. Any expenses account, any revenue account you take, this is called as a primary cost elements. Rent is not a secondary. Secondary cost elements are going to be treated only for internal adjustments, never called as a primary cost for them. Rent is an expense.
Can I make a comment, Rahul, if you don't mind? So I believe that it is not going exactly in terms of management accounting principles or cost accounting principles. It's a GL. It is kind of a one-to-one match with the GL accounts. So primary cost element would be equivalent to the GL account. Secondary cost elements,
only the P&L accounts, not the balance sheet
accounts. Yeah.
So when you take the primary cost as the P&L account, so rent comes under the P&L account or balance sheet.
P&L.
Rent comes under the P&L. Rent never comes under the balance sheet. So should I create the rent account as a primary cost or not? Yes.
Correct. But terminology is different actually. The confusion here is terminology we are using. So that's the difference I see here.
Yeah. Okay. So now what happens? How do I flow the data from FI to CO? You created the rent expenses as a primary cost in the controlling earlier. I understand that. But now you want to make this 10,000 as an expenses and you want to show the cost in the controlling. Now, there is a concept called as a cost center. I'm using the cost center. So cost center is the cost bucket. We call it as the cost bucket, which carries the cost from the FI to controlling actually. So what I will do, during my posting of this accounting entry, my accounting entry, so I'm debiting here. This is the FI posting. So what I will do here, I will debit my expenses account. So what I'm going to do, I want to debit my water or electricity bills or something like insurance, water maybe, okay? So I'm debiting, okay? So I want to debit some expenses. These all are going to be called as expenses. So I'll take one payroll expenses or water maybe. Payroll expenses for salaries, I'll take that. So 6 lakhs is an account. This is called as the primary cost element for me. This is the primary cost element and it comes under the P&L account. Now, what I will do, I'm posting 10,000 as a expenses account. So I'm posting to the USD. Okay, I'm posting to the USD. So what I will do, I will provide one cost center here. I'll make the cost center as a required entry. So I'll provide one cost center while I'm debiting these expenses. Why? Because if I'm not providing the cost center here, the cost will not flow from FI to controlling. I will not able to see this particular amount in the controlling. Okay. So what I will do, while I'm posting this accounting entry, I'll update one cost center here. Any of the cost center, finance cost center. Then I'll put expense. Okay. Then I'll put a payroll expenses for salary. Same text. I'll put it here. Then 50, I'll credit to my bank account. This bank account is nothing but my GL account, my balance sheet account. Bank account is called as my balance sheet account. So never I called my bank account. So I'm debiting my bank account. So creating my bank account. Okay. Now this is the accounting entry I'm posting now. See here. Just I'm over here. So you have created that payroll expenses as the P&L, okay, under the primary cost element. So if I go back, so what I'm going to do here, okay, now I'll come back /n FSPO. If I come to the FSPO, now what I'm going to do, I'm creating under my primary cost now. Directly you're creating. So directly now earlier what is happening in our SAP ECC means first you need to create the GL account under the P&L account. Then you have to create the primary cost elements in the controlling later on. Now in SAP S4HANA, now you're bringing the both FI and CO into the one table. Now there is no segregation of your GL account as a primary. So directly whatever the expenses account you treat, whatever the revenue accounts you treat, so all will come under the GL account type called as a primary cost elements. Now I will be selecting it as a primary cost. Now under which account group it will come? Under which account group will come? So just now we have seen some account groups. OBD4. If I go to the OBD4,
earlier also there was an option for creating cost element. In cost element there was a button to automatically create cost element.
Now that's exactly I'm telling. Now there is no option for the creating of the primary directly here. Directly we have provided the option directly as a GL account type called as a cost and primary cost or revenues here.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Now under which account group I have taken? So I know that primary cost elements, all the income statement accounts will come under the primary cost. Why? Because fixed assets, okay, this liquidity accounts, this metal management accounts, I will never take it. So what I will do, I will take all the primary cost elements are under this particular account. So what is that account group? Okay, it is going to be called as ERG. Okay, ERG. So I'll group under. So if I select here, if I go and click on the drill down button here, if I click on the drill down, so I'll get all the account groups. How many account groups are there? YCOA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 account groups are there. So all these 8 account groups will be displayed under because you are using the same chart of account. So if I click here, all the 8 account groups will be displayed here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So under which account group you want to segregate this GL account? Under the account group of my income statement. Okay, so it is the P&L account. So I'll take it as an income statement. Yes. So this knowledge is very, very important. Even if anybody comes and learn the SAP, but when you do the mistake here, if it doesn't know what comes under the P&L account, what comes under the account group, then the complete GL account will be collapsed. I'm telling. Okay.
Mahesh, the account group, if you wrongly select an account group, what will happen?
It will not happen anything, sir. Actually, it will throw an error. It will not. If direct, it will throw an error for me. See here.
Can you try select a balance sheet account?
Directly it will come an error that this particular account doesn't belong to recon account. This particular account doesn't belong to the liquidity account. This will belong only for the income statement. It will directly throw an error. It will not move further for you to do the transaction.
I think that because there at the account group level, we just gave the numbers and we specified that's a mandatory, not a mandatory field. We just specified the names. So even if we select here wrong, it should move forward, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here, whatever you put a recurrent account, fixed asset account, all those things we are entering that, right? So it doesn't necessarily, it's only for our purpose to group it. Suppose you select here a wrong, instead of, income statement accounts.
I
you
have a
select the
control here,
balance
sir.
sheet.
Yes, sir. I'll put a control here. If you leave this field empty, if the from account field is leave the empty, for example, I'm telling you're not entered
Okay.
anything. Directly, if you're putting as a two account, whichever the account group you will give, it will accept, sir. No worry about that. But
Yeah.
if you want to control the account groups based on the from number and to number, for example, all the recon accounts should come from the 1 lakh. Okay, 1 lakh to, okay, 1 lakh, 1 lakh to 1 lakh 100. I'll be controlling all the these accounts will comes under the 2 lakh. All these accounts should comes under income statements. Account should come from the 3 lakhs. If I have the control like this, if I put from number and to number, if I have the control of putting all these, then it is mandatory that you should select the right account group.
I believe not. So, Mahesh,
No,
you
sir.
can try one.
But
Yeah,
the scenario you have, Rahul, I think
The
we
reason is
are able to enter any
what I-
numbers, right?
what I feel is I'm not objecting to what you're telling, but
No,
since
see,
it is
see,
not a mandatory
see.
field,
Which is the mandate you are talking, sir?
the from account to account what we specify, and necessarily it is not, there is no link between this and the creation of this one and the creation. So whatever the one which we select,
No,
it should accept that.
no. One thing, sir. One thing, sir. Sir, one
Yeah.
thing, sir. See,
Can you just
why
to
I'm
show one
creating?
of them?
Yeah. One thing. Why I'm
Yeah.
creating the account groups? Just tell me one thing, sir.
Yeah, that is for our purpose to bifurcate between different types of accounts for
Very
the
good.
purpose of
Very good, sir.
putting into
This
the
is our
particular
purpose.
bucket. Yeah,
Exactly.
put
This
into
is
the
our
particular
purpose where
bucket.
we are going to.
But if you wrongly select on the when we are creating, if your account group, if you wrongly select that account name, even it's a primary, the system, how the system knows that account group income statement accounts is the same one. Here you just select some other one and move forward, and let us see whether it will take it or not. I'm just a gut feeling.
No. So I'll tell you one thing, sir. Here I'm not given the from number and to number. I don't have the control of the GL account. So even if I give that, if I give any other GL account, even if I provide anything here, even if I provide anything over here, it will see here. It will see here. Make okay. This is they have made it as a required entry. See, it will accept. Why? Because I don't have the control. Because I'm from account and two accounts are not provided here. From account is not provided over here. Okay, now what I will do here, see here. Okay, okay, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 100, 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 100, 3 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 100, 4 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 100, 5 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 100, 6 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 100, 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs,
Didn't save.
see, sir.
No, instead of account, that's a reconciliation account, right?
Yes, what are we see? I want to create an
account. Yeah, because there.
Yeah, I want to create an income account under
this is
the
not saved actually.
No, see, sir. I want to create an income account under the group. Income accounts will come from the 3 lakhs to 3 lakhs 100. We know that. Okay, these are the account groups. Okay. So I have given the 3 lakhs account. See here, in front of you only, I have given the same account number, which comes under the income statement account. Okay, but instead of selecting the account group, as the income statement, I need to select this one. Income statement. It will allow me to save it. But in spite of this, I'm selecting the fixed asset. Fixed assets is not very here. Fixed assets is number is from the 2 lakhs to 2 lakhs 100. It not from it is not for the 3 lakhs. So if I select the fixed asset, see here. If I select the fixed asset, it will give the error. See here.
All right. Okay.
Fixed asset account group comes under 2 lakhs to 2 lakhs 100.
Yeah.
Clear, sir?
Clear. Yeah. But no, what I'm telling is that the GL account, whatever the GL account which you are putting, it should follow the same account group.
Then what I will do here, sir?
Yeah.
I understand your word. Okay. Then what I will do, I will not put the 2 accounts and lie. Directly I put all the infinity here. I'll remove all these things.
Yeah. So it will go. It will go.
Then your statement is correct. Yes, your statement is correct. Then I will remove everything. I'll give up to infinity like this.
So it is not a good idea to put it in that way, right? We'll have to put it specifically within that period.
That's what I'm doing the same thing, sir.
Okay. Got it. No, that's the point I wanted to bring in.
So
Thank you very much.
Where are we going to put this cost center here? Where is the cost center come into the picture?
I'll tell, sir. We are not even completed, sir. We are not even completed. Okay. Don't worry about that. Okay. We are going step by step. Not worry, sir. Just I remove this.
Mahesh, can I ask one more question if you don't mind?
Please, sir.
Okay, it's earlier you mentioned that using LSMW we can move transaction to SKA1 and SKB1, right?
Yes, sir.
So we can also do a ABAP. Using ABAP we can transfer all the data
BAPI.
to the tables.
We can use the BAPI. We can use the BAPI, sir. If any BAPI is available, we can use, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Now see here. Okay, where is that? Yeah. Now see here. Now this payroll expenses is an expenses account. We know that this payroll expenses is an expense. This is an expenses account. Now I want to bring this cost to the controlling. I want to bring this $10,000 to the controlling. So what I'm going to do, I'm taking as a cost center. Cost center is a cost carrying object. Cost center is a cost carrying object, which will carry the cost from the FI to controlling. So if I want to transfer this cost to the controlling, so I need to use this particular cost center. So when I need to use the cost center, only if it is a primary cost element. Only if it is a primary cost. Cost centers will not be applied for balance sheet accounts. Balance sheet accounts will not be transferred to the controlling. Controlling never talks about the balance sheet account. Controlling only talks about the expenses you want to control, the expenses which have been incurred during a manufacturing of a product. Only the P&L account items are going to be transferred to your controlling. So balance sheet accounts will not be taken into consideration. So this is an expenses account. This is an expenses account. I want to transfer this $10,000 to the controlling to show the cost accounting. So I'm using the cost center. This cost center will carry the cost from FI to CO. If you're not updating this cost center, if you're not bringing this cost center, what happens? Yes, the cost center report will show as wrong. Why? Because your cost center has not been updated with the wrong value, with the right value in the controlling module. So this is very, very important that yes, we provide the right cost center here and we will post the transaction. If I post the transaction in FI, so the cost will go. So now the FI document has got posted. Now you can go and see in the controlling, you can see the $10,000 have been posted to the particular primary cost for the cost center, what have been specified over here.
How about if I use WBS element or internal order there?
Depends upon, sir. Requirement to requirement. Example. Yeah, WBS element is also cost carrying object. Purchase order, sales order, production order, process orders. These all are nothing but your cost objects.
Thank you.
So, Mahesh, the primary cost element, see when you're creating the GL account, right? How do you know whether? How do you know whether it's a FI GL account or is it for controlling?
Whichever you take, that's what, just blindly, one thing, sir, blindly, all the P&L accounts you are creating, not the balance sheet, all the P&L accounts you have to take into consideration of primary cost elements.
Okay, so
blindly.
So right now when you're creating this GL account, right? In FI, it is close to the 3 lakh GL account.
Yeah.
When you go to controlling,
it will be the same 3 lakhs only. It will be same 3 lakhs only.
So basically there are 2 GL accounts with 3 lakhs created?
one is called as a primary cost, one is called as a GL account. Primary cost never be used as a financial statement. Primary costs are only to display the accounts in the controlling only for internal reporting purpose.
Yeah, I got that, but I'm saying, so when you create this GL account,
with the same number, sir, with the same number, you will create the primary cost.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll see for the remaining. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. All of you. Take care.
Can you
Thank
show
you.
the CO?
Yeah, I'll